My name's Sutapa Biswas. I'm delighted to be here with you today. I'm currently at the Courtauld, and I'm about to do a workshop, which is a collaboration between Hospital Rooms and the Courtauld Gallery and the Courtauld. We're here in the Courtauld studio, and I'm delighted to be able to present to you today a workshop during which we're going to explore what it means to think about landscape. So what we have around us on this table, apart from some photocopies of the images of the paintings I've just been introducing to, are some acrylic paints, some different sized paintbrushes, some watercolour paints, and some pastels. And we also have some little cutouts of some animals. So this is where I get really excited as an artist, where you begin to pull the paint out of its tubes, or you begin to squish it around and it takes on its own energy and its own life forces. So let's just make the best of it and see what magic we can make as we paint together. So I'm going to take here a really marvelous kind of colour, really, and that's phthalo green. It's called phthalo green, but it's kind of green, really. That's all you need to know. And then a little bit of a beautiful, dark, deep ultramarine blue. And I'm going to also take a little bit of titanium white, so that if we need to calm things down, we can. And I'm going to also bring in something called iridescent white. And for me, this is literally like magic in a tube, because when you add it sometimes to the colours that you have, it does this amazing thing where it's like looking at pearls and the light bounces off it and in all directions. And it kind of has its own sort of pace and movement. So that's really a little bit of magic right there in a tube, for me anyway. And I'm looking for Van Gogh, like we all are. Where is he? Where is he? Here he is. Now, one of the things that I find so remarkable about this painting by Van Gogh is, again, and it's such a different work to, say, this one by Cézanne, in the sense that look how there are no rules here. There is orange and umber and sienna and all kinds of beautiful colours, blue in the earth as there is in the sky. So we're going to make some fabulous colours in the way that Van Gogh made fabulous colours. Sorry, I've got to just get a little drink. And let's see, yellow. This is lemon yellow, so it's quite a bright, acidy yellow. But we've got here ochre, which kind of balances it out a little bit. And this one, which is a cadmium yellow, it's a slightly deeper kind of. You can see the difference between them. And again, as I've said, there's no hard and fast rules about how you can play with this or what you can do. This is your work. You do with it as you feel is best. So I'm going to just take, for me, a beautiful large brush. It's very exciting. And what I'm going to do is just to kind of mush it around a little bit and mix the colours. Make some space. And just to kind of drag things across, I'm going to make my brush quite wet and just see what happens in that space. To me, I feel as if the space I'm creating is the sea. And I didn't know that until I just laid those colours down. So in a funny sort of way, the sea called to me. But it doesn't matter what paper you've got. As long as you keep your brush quite wet, it just means that you can kind of move through it in a way. Okay? I'm going to make a bit more space here and move my tea and just get even more excited. Like I do when I'm painting at home or in my studio. Just to kind of drag it to the edge of that space. You know, and can you see how just sweeping your arms all through just sort of means that your body gets involved, you know. And that's important, you know, allow that to happen. Now, sometimes, depending on what the landscape is, you might find that in the space, there may be some brush that will lead you through this space. That verdant green. And again, use your body and your arms not to feel like there's rules or regulations. Nobody is here to say to you, oh, that's not very good. So we know that in order to get to this amazing seascape, we're going to have to go through some shrubs. And this is the brush. Where is it taking us today? Where will life allow us to go? That's the other thing I love about tracing paper. It has a little crackle. Of course, when it's dry, it settles, but somehow, when I'm working with tracing paper, as I do sometimes, it feels like it's speaking back to me in the way that, you know, when you're out in landscape, you hear all kinds of sounds and spaces through the space. It's like it's chattering to you, like birds chatter. In a way, abstracting and inventing what you want this to be. Oh, the colours I've been using are not entirely out of sync with the ones that he used. And, you know, maybe what started out as a seascape might actually turn into a mountain. So I might play with that. Bear with me, okay? So, and as I was saying, when you have the luxury of different size brushes, it just also means that you can begin to add teeny bits of detail that, maybe with a slightly larger brush, you might not quite be able to get that information in. Okay, let's just maybe highlight something here. Can you see all our paints and things are getting all swishy, but in a good way, I think, at least. So, interestingly, I think we might have a little bit of a mountain range. So it began, strangely, as I was saying, as a beach. And now we're somewhere completely different, which is really exciting and weird. But we're going to go with it. Because I don't have, unfortunately, black paint, which would very easily do, I'm just going to see, oh, look at that. I'm dragging it through. Oh, amazing. See, I surprised myself there. You see how just dragging the colours through it. Oh, let's just take it right up through that space. So it cuts through the vista. So I'm Sutapa Biswas, and I'm here with you for Hospital Rooms, working in collaboration with the Courtauld.